Whenever you're ready to go.
All right. Coach, you guys are coming off a big win over Elder last week, big game with Cincinnati St. X this week. Talk about the level that your team is playing at right now going into this big game.
We played some great competition. Our preparation is still not where we want to be yet. We're still trying to get to what I call our style of practice, and which is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is a very, very, very fast practice, and we're getting better there. It's one of those deals at Elder where I felt like the big snowball started rolling down the hill, and they had a hard time getting it stopped, but Elder's a very fine football team, as well as Brentwood, and I'm glad we had Brentwood early out in Nashville. Montgomery Bell had some injuries, so I'm not sure that everybody sees the total picture there. When you're playing without people, Montgomery Bell had their best receiver and also their top running back out. So sometimes it's not all that it appears to be, but very happy with where we're at right now, and we have a very, very tough one coming up this Friday.
Yeah, talk about that. What does that mean, how much it means for the program, how excited the kids get to play another nationally ranked team in Cincinnati St. X?
Well, you don't have to motivate too hard, and the other thing is you know immediately what type of preparation your kids are going to have as soon as you put on the film, and you don't have to quiet them down.
Right.
And it's a quality opponent. They're very well coached. Their history speaks for itself on their wins and losses up there, and again, we got our work cut out for us. Their student section is one of the tops in the nation too, so it's a hard place to go play, but also exciting at the same time.
How much will last year's game? Is that do you just kind of put that past you, or is that motivation for you guys this year?
Well, it was a year ago. We obviously made enough mistakes that we didn't win the ball game, and you look at those mistakes and you don't want to make the same mistakes again, but they're a different ball club, and so are we. Last year was our really third or fourth game that we'd had our defense in. We had a new defensive coordinator and a new defensive scheme, and felt like that they did a good job. Our quarterback was a sophomore. He's now a junior, but they also have some quality people too, so they have some kids that have grown up as well.
Everybody talks about your talented junior class. Tell me a little bit about those guys, and they just seem every week they all seem to just do special things.
Well, they do, but you need to look at the senior class as well. There's 41 seniors in there, and those guys, especially up in that offensive and defensive line that are seniors, those guys are men. Now, when you couple that senior class with the junior class, everybody wants to talk about juniors, and we have some talented juniors, but the senior class was 9-1 as freshmen. They didn't lose a game, JV. So our senior class is very talented as well. When you couple those two together, then it makes for a good equation. But I don't think the Cincy X is really caring whether or not we're juniors or seniors. They'll come after us, and we know that.
Travis Wright is one of the more unheralded guys. How comfortable are you with his quarterback play, and how has he played so far?
Well, when you throw for almost 80%, you're doing something right, and he has a grasp of our system. He sometimes drives me a little crazy in practice because I like for him to be a little bit more efficient in practice, but at this time, but again, he's as efficient as what he is because there's 5 guys up in front of him, and also a running back that helps in that pass protection that's giving him time to throw.
You guys have gone all over, played a lot of really good, solid competition. Where does this team rank, the team of Cincinnati St. X, compared to some of the other teams you've played?
Well, it's hard geographically to tell because you're not up there, but if you look at traditions, Montgomery Bell and Brentwood are two of the normal top teams in Nashville. Every year is different. The 3 teams that we play out of Ohio are traditionally the top teams there, so St. X is always up there. They're always up there, and always traditionally very, very tough. So we just have to kind of go on based on what's happened in the past, but they're up there again this year, and all 3 teams. Elder was up there, Cincy X is up there, and then obviously we have Moeller too. So those are 3 of the top teams in Cincinnati traditionally, and so we know we got a tough road to hoe.
Speaking of tradition, I've talked to a lot of alumni from around here, and they are so excited about this team. Even teams that they thought they were the best of all time, they're questioning it now with how good you guys have performed. What are you hearing from maybe some of the alumni and from the Trinity supporters?
We have been so busy in that film room that I really haven't had a chance to talk to them. But, when teams try to compare teams to the past, I really feel like that's very unfair. Every alumni that's ever played here knows what kind of commitment it is to play at Trinity High School. To be able to compare those teams, I think is unfair. I know that those guys played their hearts out, and it's a different style of football back then. You know, the game has changed a little bit, and those guys played very, very hard. And they have an argument. Of course they feel like they're the best. And, you know, the 12 years that I've been here, you know, I can't compare because it's just different every year. But I know that any state championship, when you walk away with that ring, you've done something very, very special.
You talked about the combination of athletic juniors and those solid upfront seniors. Is this the perfect mix? Did it just kind of blend together right this year?
No. I mean, it goes all the way back. Years ago, our head freshman coach, Mike Wagner, when he had this senior group, you know, he said, man, this is a very, very talented group. And then when the class came in behind him, which is our juniors this year, he says, I'm not sure that these guys aren't as good or better. And when you put those two together, we knew going in that we had talent, but then again, you can lead a lot of horses to the trough, and I mean, they're always going to drink.
You spent so much time on the road so far this year, so I wouldn't say it's another road test for you guys. How are these guys motivating themselves to get on the road and do that us versus the world mentality?
Well, I don't think we look at it like that as much as we look at it. We have a group of young men that love the game. You don't always get that in kids. I think sometimes kids play the game because their mom and dads want them to play, or because their mom and dads have played in the past and they're a legacy. But are they really into it? These kids are like an addict. I mean, they got to have their fix on Friday night. And as a coach, that's heaven. I mean, they love the lights and they love to play the game. If we can get them to where they love practice as much as they do the games, then this old man right here will be a lot happier. But they love to play. I mean, they're like a trained bird dog. Have you ever seen a bird dog get really excited before they pop them out in the field? I mean, they just go nuts, and that's what these kids do, and you can't ask for any more.
We just had the weight room coach come out here and yell. What are you seeing leading up to those Fridays? Are you seeing any extra weight room, any extra film study with this team?
No. I mean, we have a routine, and honestly, it doesn't matter who we play. We have this routine. This is what we do. Right now, those youngsters are in there, and they're worried about getting practice over because they get a free meal tonight with our booster club called the Mom Rocks, and that's all they're concerned with. You know, and that's what's great about coaching kids. Let's just get tonight over with because we got a free meal coming.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks.